Hi everyone, how are you? It's Laurie and I'm here to do an uplifting reading all about you. I'm laughing because I only have 31 minutes on this phone too. I'm using my secondary phone, which I don't like the color. I don't care for the camera. But anyways, here we are. 30 minutes. Let's get into your message here. Let's see who we're focusing on today. Let's see what it is Spirit wants to shine a light on. All right, what makes you truly unique is being the King of Cups. Emotional stability, confidence in your ability to overcome any emotional challenges, celebrating your accomplishments, self-satisfaction here with this King of Cups. I feel like you have definitely overcome some very emotional situations. You've been around the block quite a few times. You've built your confidence. You've built your stability. But you also celebrate the challenges that you have been through because you use those as lessons. You use those as inspiration to improve, to get better, to feel more secure, to build your confidence even. There's definitely an energy of self-satisfaction coming through here, through accomplishing a stable life after learning the lessons of what you've been through. All right, let's take a look at what you should be proud of, what you've overcome, what you've accomplished. Oh, the Hanged Man. Sacrifices. You were, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, let's see if I can say this without getting in trouble. You were the scapegoat. Okay, we'll start there. You were the scapegoat. You were sacrificed within your family, within your community, so that everyone else could feel better about themselves. Now, basically, if you don't know what a scapegoat is, this happens on all levels of humanity. It's something that's been around since the beginning of time, and it's probably going to be here till the end of times. Unfortunately, because it's a very negative thing. But what basically it's where I can't even remember the story from the Bible about the goat being sacrificed. All the sins of the family, all the sins of the community were put onto the goat, and the goat was sent out into the world. You know, it wasn't killed. No, it still can live, but now it's living with all the shame, the guilt, and all the other feelings, and being isolated from the rest of the family and group, okay? Because all the sins of the other people were cast upon that goat. I hope that makes sense to you. If you don't know the story, maybe it's something that somebody else can list where you can find that story in the Bible. But this feels like you were the sacrificial lamb, the black sheep of the family, the one who everyone blamed for the whole family not working right. By the way, this doesn't happen in every family. Only in dysfunctional families, dysfunctional workplaces, dysfunctional communities, dysfunctional groups. There's always going to be somebody that is to blame for everything going wrong, okay? Because every individual cannot take responsibility for their own guilt, their own responsibility. So basically here, you were the black sheep of the family, the black sheep of the community. You were sacrificed because everyone else had to succeed. And you know, I can speak from experience here. I was the black sheep of the family. I'm still considered the black sheep of my family. And you know what? I no longer care. I can no longer care. I will not carry the shame or the guilt or anything else for anyone else. If it is not mine to carry, I don't carry it. So I hope you are at that point too. With this King of Cups here, you've definitely overcome the emotional challenges of that. Yes, every now and then, you're going to have it sneak up on you, I'm sure, just like it does me. But you know how to handle it now. And you're very happy with the life you've created. You're no longer you're no longer worried about feeling the guilt and shame that other people have placed upon you. And you're not to blame here. You were not the person to blame. Let me explain. I grew up in an alcoholic family, and I was the person who would not lie about what was happening in my family because I could not stand that people would not admit the truth. If you can't admit the truth, you cannot fix what's wrong, okay? Hiding the truth only perpetuates the situation longer and longer. But before it ever came to that, I did have a stepmother. And I will say, she adopted me and I loved her dearly, and I tried for her approval for years and years and years and years. And this is what it feels like you did. Like you tried to be the one who was doing the right thing. But every time you turned around, somebody was blaming you for something, saying you were doing something wrong here. All right. My family was dysfunctional. And I will admit, when you place the blame on somebody like that for years and years and years, you start getting angry. You start getting pushing back, like no, and not paying any attention to anybody who's supposed to be an authority figure. So if you've ever caught yourself there, you know that you're probably the sacrificial lamb, the scapegoat, the black sheep of the family, the one who had all this put on you because the rest of the family or community or whatever was dysfunctional. You have overcome. You are successful with this. You are like, okay, if that's what they want to do, they can go and find a new lamb. You are not taking part in this anymore. Now, that may mean you had to cut yourself off from certain people in your family. Maybe not your whole family, but certain people. And it's really a shame, but that's the only way you can deal with this. All right, so most of the time, there's always the exception to the rule where you can overcome and fix, but not likely with this type of thing. All right, so you definitely had a very difficult past. This haunted you for many years. You couldn't understand why. And you know, the worst part is this starts in childhood. This starts in childhood. And as a child, you're like, I don't know why this is happening. I'm doing everything I can, you know? So you've grown, you've expanded, you've got emotional control for yourself over this type of situation. All right, let's see what kind of impact you have on the people around you now, the people currently in your life. The Page of Cups. You offer a cup of love, okay? You think outside the box. You see the uniqueness in each person. You do not pigeonhole people. Yeah, when you encounter someone new, you accept them for exactly who they are, okay? Because you know that you don't know everything about that person. You don't know where they came from, what their situation was. So the impact that you have on the people around you is open, receptive, caring, but you also will keep your distance, okay? You're much more advanced emotionally than a lot of other people. And that's not a criticism against anybody, and that's not meant to make your head swell. You know what I'm talking about. You're advanced in the sense that you pick up on cues and clues when you walk in a room. Even if people just stop talking, you know what's been happening because you've been through these experiences your whole life, okay? So you don't let those things bother you, and that makes people see you as an enigma. 1 minute you're there and they would love you, they adore you, and then the next they're like afraid because you're showing them exactly who they are without even intending to. Just conversations, normal conversations. They say something and it doesn't come out, or your response is just a response. It's not a judgment or anything else, but they suddenly feel judged because they know that thing about themselves. All right, so you have really good impact on people, but again, I'm feeling like people come and go in your life, and hopefully it looks like you're okay for the most part when that happens. You understand it, you get it, and you do understand that you are much more perceptive to the energy in a room, to where people are coming from, that sometimes no matter what you do, you're holding up a mirror to someone else and all they can see is their negative side. That has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with them. All right, let's go ahead and see what a talent or skill is that you have that Spirit wants to shine a light on. Look at that. Ace of Wands. You're holding the baton. You're ready to move forward with passion to achieve your goals, okay? This does not mean you're stepping on anyone either. In fact, I'm getting that you are like a pillar within a different family, within a different group. You're the leader here. You take divine advice. You also take heart. You gain faith. You gain conviction and inspiration from your intuition, from your higher power, from your guardian angels. This is definitely ready to grow. If you need to give somebody else the lead, you're fine with that. But you will step into the roles that need to be filled as they come up. So again, people see you as wonderful, capable, talented. And I'm not talking about your family that sacrificed you. I'm talking about the general public, the new people that you meet, the community people that you're engaging with by choice, not because you have to. They see you as an enigma. They see you as being capable, confident, not emotionally wrought, every time somebody says something negative to you. And you'll take on whatever role needs to be taken on in the moment. And people are like, wow, how do they do that? But then just because you are so good at that, when they fail at trying to do that, they blame you for it. Okay, but you're there. Your talent, your skill is to fit in wherever you're needed. Do whatever needs to be done. Helping out here, taking the lead there, stepping back, passing the baton when it needs to be passed. All right, let's see what you do right now that you should never ever stop doing. Looking towards the future, keeping an eye on the prize, which means you know that whatever you desire will happen, will come to you. You don't worry, don't stress, don't sweat it. You don't sweat the small stuff. You definitely don't sweat the small stuff. And you never should. You should never sweat the small stuff. I'm also hearing keeping your focus, because sometimes things come towards you and they feel really good. Like, oh, this is horrible. I'm getting the story of like a Mean Girls group, or like being included at work. Okay, you've had trouble with your coworkers. One or two have kind of picked on you for a while, ganged up on you every now and then. You're just doing your job. Okay, you're friendly, whatever. And you didn't even realize that they were talking about you behind your back to other people at work. But you could feel it. You could sense it. You just had no proof of it. So what I'm getting here is that energy of all of a sudden things start to mellow out. They feel okay at work. It feels like your coworkers finally gave up and moved on. And now, a couple weeks later, they're going to have a party or go to lunch and they invite you. Keep your focus. Make sure you're asking the question, why? Why are they suddenly, is this something that I want to do? Or should I keep my eye on the future and not worry about what they want to do right here and right now? Okay? And I'm sorry to say that, but you already know exactly what's happening there. You already know this is probably a setup so that you can take the fall for something here. Even though this may be a group, I feel like you're stuck in a workplace that you can't control, okay? Not that you should be controlling anything or anyone except yourself, and that's what you've chosen to do. Or a community where your family that you haven't chosen is trying to come back in. They see that you're happy in life, that you're stable. And now they're like, oh, well, they're doing so well. Let's see what we can get from them. Do you see where I'm going here? So keep your focus. Don't lose focus because your heart says, oh, well, everybody can change. I would like to think that. And I know that some people have changed. You know, life-altering changes. All right. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your focus. Don't get distracted by the good things coming in from these people because it may not be worth it for you to go after those things. I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you to think about them before you do. All right. And that's something, a talent that you have, something that you already do. You can spot those situations before they even come about. You know when somebody's like coming at you from the right energy or coming at you with an angle. So you already know that. Don't ever stop being aware of that. Keep your focus. All right, here's some what Spirit thinks you can do to nurture yourself, take care of yourself, continue down the path that you have been on. 7 of Pentacles. Have a contemplative stance about where you want to go, what you want to continue to put your energy into, and what you want to let go of. Sometimes, you know, as a gardener, we have plants that just do not do well, and it's better to pluck those plants out and get them out of there and let the rest of the tribe thrive, okay? And I just got the image of the family taking the scapegoat and sending it out into the wild. Yeah, what happens when you remove the scapegoat from the family? What happens? It's going to fall apart. Here you are, your advice from Spirit, okay, is to contemplate what works for you, what grows, where you want to put your attention, how you can nurture yourself. You just keep thinking it through. All right, let's go ahead and get some oracle messages here. We're going to get you spirit animal. Let's see if I can find the right ones. There we are. Got the large cards here. So it looks to me like you've been through the ringer. You've definitely been through, you were sacrificed, you know, the sacrificial lamb in the family, the black sheep, the scapegoat. Now there's other roles too. There is the golden child who suffers just as badly as the scapegoat does because they're led to believe that they are, you know, they I don't like saying that. They're the head family member's right-hand person. They're the one who does everything that makes that head person feel right. But that makes the golden child a very sad person, okay? And they don't want to be in that role, but they know if they don't take that role that they could end up being the scapegoat themselves. And when you remove the scapegoat, that's usually what does happen. So there's other roles. Anyways, if you've been through this, my heart goes out to you. I can say I know exactly what this feels like. And I'm happy for your maturity, your understanding, your ability to have emotional stability. Now, if there's anyone out there who's still dealing with this, there are lots of videos out there. There's lots of books on scapegoating. If you don't even know if you're the scapegoat, the golden child, or any other role in a dysfunctional family, didn't even know there were titles to that, please feel free to look that up. The roles of a dysfunctional family. You'll find all kinds of information. And please be cautious because there are some people who are the scapegoats of their families and they have not healed yet, okay? And when you do not heal, you try to blame everybody else for all the problems and everything else and cannot take responsibility for your own role, which I'm telling you, I acted out. I fought back. After that starts happening, it's a snowball, okay? So be careful where you get your information from. All right, you have the koi fish spirit. There is always enough, and that's the truth. There is always enough. Card 36. Maybe not in the setting that you're in, but there is always enough for you somewhere. Okay, even if you have to go out on your own and find what you are seeking, what you need, you will find it because it's there. Spirit will give it to you as soon as you say that you need it. All right, let's see what we've got. Got the electric eel. Spirit, bring your ideas to life. There's something calming and healing here. And we've got card 24, which is a 6. And then we've got 36. So let's look up angel number 636. Let's see what we've got. Assets. You can't take material things with you, okay? Shift your focus from making money to deciding what you can do for others once you have it. Oh, wow. This is tying in. This message is definitely resonating with the Libra daily for today. Okay, when you have more, you help others more. What wonderful things can you do with your abundance? There's all types of things. You can make a small donation to an organization you hold dear, perhaps even in the amount of this angel number. So $636.36. $636. I'm getting here. Actually, it was with this card, the Page of Cups, the influence that you have, the impact you have on the people around you. This could be what you do, okay? You're offering up that fish in the cup, the ideas. I keep hearing the word donations, but that's not the right word. Oh, come on. Spirit, help me find the right word there. What are you trying to convey? Gifting others, okay, creative ideas, creative processes, inspiring others to go after their dreams, their ideas. And again, this ties back to where one moment you are golden, you're inspiring people. Keep in mind, when they fail, they come at you and blame you for that. However, it's not your responsibility, so don't take that on. Okay, keep your eye on your desires, your ideas. All right, so let's see what the book here says. The spirit animal book says about the koi fish. 36. Oh, my phone went off in the other room. All right. The koi fish who grows big within a small pond reminds us that within each of us is the potential for prosperity. This prosperity is our natural state. So regardless of temporary outer conditions, you can call in prosperity and magnetically attract the opportunities and abundance that you need. The message of koi fish spirit is to begin to generate wealth from within with deliberate intention, no matter how small your pond may seem, and to appreciate abundance wherever you see it. Outer conditions will come to reflect your inner prosperity. So begin to become the self who is comfortable with wealth in all of its different forms. Even if at this moment it feels as if riches are not yours, they soon will be. Start to envision the plenty that Spirit wants you to experience, knowing that the moment you begin to commit to conscious and deliberate co-creating, which means surrendering, Spirit will joyfully start bringing you what you need. You have so much to offer and so much value to express to the world. In your little pond, there is much that you can create and much that you can attract. Do not underestimate what you have and who you are, because koi fish spirit wants you to know that you are exquisite, you are loved, and you are deeply cherished. Trust that the outer conditions are changing to reflect that truth. Again, I just heard this I'm going to get your name. Hang on. All right. The name's Shubra, I think, and AJ. So I'm hearing you. Here's a message for you. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are loved. You are cherished. Okay. Everything that was just said in that last portion of that message was meant for you. All right. We're going to get you an angel number card here. Let's see what the angel whisper is. 1010, growth. All right, so the angel whispers, spiritual awareness is opening you up to everything that you are finally ready to see and understand. Your destiny is being fulfilled. So please keep your intentions pure with your eyes looking ahead, and you will continue to increase the growth that is there. Look at that 3 of Wands with the ships coming in, looking ahead, keeping your focus, looking through that telescope there, okay? Here's an affirmation that you can hold on to if you so choose. The more I invest awareness in my growth, the closer I become to the outcomes I am seeking. And this is 1010. So that's a Libra birthday for sure. But this is also like the on-off switch of computing. I don't know where this is coming from or going, but that was meant to come out. All right, my loves, I hope you've enjoyed this message. I've got to stop now because I only have 1 minute left. Check out one of these 2 videos. I'm going to put the list of these uplifting videos, a playlist for you to watch. Or you can watch another video here that others of the channel have enjoyed. All right, until our energies cross again, I'm wishing you much peace, love, and happiness. Bye-bye.